Life of Saint Anthony, Parts 28 through 30. His address to monks, exhorting them to perseverance and encouraging them against the wiles of Satan. Life of Saint Anthony, Part 28. Already in passing I have spoken on these things, and now I must not shrink from speaking on them at greater length, for to put you in remembrance will be a source of safety. Since the Lord visited the earth, the enemy is fallen and his powers weakened. Wherefore, although he could do nothing, still like a tyrant, he did not bear his fall quietly, but threatened, though his threats were words only. Now, if they were hampered with such bodies as we are, it would be possible for them to say, Men, when they are hidden, we cannot find, but whenever we do find them, we do them hurt. And also by lying in concealment could escape them, shutting the doors against them. But they are not of such nature as this, but are able to enter in, though the doors be shut, and haunt all the air, both they and their leader the devil, and are wishful for evil, and ready to injure. And, as the Saviour said, from the beginning the devil is a manslayer, and a father of vice. Though this is so, our life, and spend our lives all the more in opposing him, it is plain they are powerless. For place is no hindrance to their plots, nor do they look on us as friends that they should spare us, nor are they lovers of good that they should amend. But on the contrary, they are evil, and nothing is so much sought after by them as wounding them that love virtue and fear God. But since they have no power to effect anything, they do not but threaten. But if they could, they would not hesitate, but forthwith work evil, for all their desire is set on this, and especially against us. Behold, now we are gathered together and speak against them, and they know when we advance they grow weak. If therefore they had power, they would permit none of us Christians to live, for godliness is an abomination to a sinner. But since they can do nothing, they inflict the greater wounds on themselves, for they can fulfill none of their threats. Next, this ought to be considered, that we may be in no fear of them, that if they had power, they would not come into crowds, nor fashion displays, nor with change of form would they frame deceits, but it would suffice that one only should come and accomplish that which he was both able and willing to do, especially as every one who has the power neither slays with display, nor strikes fear with tumult, but forthwith makes full use of his authority as he wishes. But the demons, as they have no power, are like actors on the stage, changing their shape and frightening children with tumultuous apparition, and various forms in which they ought rather to be despised as showing their weakness. At least the true angel of the Lord sent against the Assyrian had no needs for tumults, nor displays from without, nor noises, nor rattlings, but in quiet he used his power, and forthwith destroyed 185,000. But demons like these, who have no power, try to terrify at least by their displays. Life of Saint Anthony, Part 29. But if anyone having in mind the history of Job should say, Why then hath the devil gone forth and accomplished all these things against him, and stripped him of all his possessions, and slew his children, and smote him with evil ulcers? Let such a one, on the other hand, recognize that the devil was not the strong man, but God who delivered Job to him to be tried. Certainly he had no power to do anything, but he asked, and having received it, he hath wrought what he did. So also from this the enemy is more to be condemned, for all the willing he could not prevail against one just man. For if he could have, he would not have asked permission, but having asked not once, but also a second time, he shows his weakness and want of power. And it is no wonder if he could do anything against Job, When destruction, he would not come even on his cattle, and had not God allowed it. And he had not the power over swine, for as it is written in the gospel, they besought the Lord, saying, Let us enter the swine. But if they had power, not even against the swine, much less have they over any men formed in the image of God. Life of Saint Anthony, Part 30. So then we ought to fear God only, and despise the demons, and be in no fear of them. But the more they do things, the more let us intensify our discipline against them. For a good life and faith in God is a great weapon. At any rate, they fear the fasting, the sleeplessness, the prayers, the meekness, the quietness, the contempt of money and vainglory, the humility, the love of the poor, the alms, the freedom from anger of the ascetics, and the chief of all, their piety towards Christ. Wherefore they do all things, that they may not have any that trample on them, knowing the grace given to the faithful against them by the Saviour, when he says, Behold, I have given to you power to tread upon serpents and scorpions, and upon all the power of the enemy.
If you are enjoying this series, please consider making a donation to the St. John of Damascus Orthodox Educational Initiative. We are asking the faithful to support our scholarship fund, which will help ensure that an education based on the Orthodox Christian faith and following the classical model is available to all interested families of our eparchy and other like-minded Orthodox Christians, regardless of their financial circumstances. We are also asking for donations to help us make renovations and improvements to our new physical headquarters, located on the property of the Holy Ascension Parish in Bearsville, New York. Please see the link in the description of this video to learn how you can donate and support the future of our church, that is, the youth of our church. God bless you. Through the prayers of St. John of Damascus.